How's everyone doing today? This is JJ Domination, and we're back here with a recap video of the Green Bay Packers Minnesota Vikings game. Now, I must say, very strange game for the most part. You know, when you hear a lot of people talk about the Green Bay Packers and Minnesota Vikings, you think of like the two best teams in the NFC North. But when you hear people talk about football in general, you think, you know, the game is won on offense and defense. Boy, was this game all about the special teams. The Minnesota Vikings missed 3 field goals, including 2 in overtime. Green Bay missed a go-ahead field goal with about 4 seconds left in regulation after Mike Zimmer iced the kicker, Mason Crosby, who was on track to have a career day because he already hit 5 field goals, going for field goal attempt number 6. But before we get into all that, because a lot of that crazy stuff happened towards the end, let's talk about the duration of the game. So to start the game off, Aaron Rodgers and company, they start moving the ball on the Minnesota Vikings, but they couldn't finish the drive. Meanwhile, the Vikings, I believe they get a first down and then proceed to go 3 and out after that. And then there's a blocked punt by Geronimo Allison. So there you go. Special teams already dictating how it's going to go. Josh Jackson recovers the blocked punt for a touchdown. So it's 7-0 Green Bay already off the rip. And then Minnesota on their next offensive drive, I believe they just drive down the field and they score they score their first touchdown, making it 7-7. The theme of this game was really Kirk Cousins not giving up on his targets. Obviously, Adam Thielen had a big game. Stephon Diggs, all-pro receiver, he's going to do his thing. But Laquan Treadwell, that was the theme of the game. You know, I really have to say I have a lot of respect for Kirk Cousins. Even before he got that big contract, I've always been on the Kirk Cousins bandwagon. I think he's a top 12 quarterback. Did he display leadership or what? I got to give it to him. Laquan Treadwell, he just struggled. He struggled in this game. He had the touchdown, but man, he dropped a lot of passes that he should have easily caught. And Kirk Cousins did not. He didn't look away from him. He didn't stop throwing him the football. Every time he got open, he just kept throwing it to him. That's a good way to build confidence. Kirk Cousins was like, you know what? Instead of not targeting this kid at all, I'm going to keep giving him opportunities. Laquan Treadwell dropped like 4 or 5 passes, and to his credit, I mean, he just hasn't had a good career to start out. He was a first-round pick in the draft, I believe, 2 or 3 seasons ago, and injured his first year, barely played his second year, and his third year he's asked to be the slot receiver. He just hasn't done well. But it's kind of like Kevin White all over again for the Chicago Bears, except he's not injury prone, he just can't catch. And I hate it for Laquan Treadwell, but I have to give Kirk Cousins credit for trying to get him involved every step of the way. And for Aaron Rodgers in the offense, listen, you're going up against arguably the #1 defense in football. Last year they were ranked #1 overall in defense. This year they're definitely going to finish in the top 5. So Minnesota, you know, they were able to move the ball. Green Bay was able to move the ball on the Minnesota Vikings, and I thought that was such a big deal in this matchup. That was such a big deal throughout the game. Now, you know, they may not have the best weapons. Like, yeah, they got Devontae Adams. Jimmy Graham finally got involved in this offense. He had 6 catches, I believe, for a grand total of 85 yards. He did get a touchdown called back because of offensive pass interference. Just a very crazy game. Aaron Rodgers technically threw an interception to Harrison Smith, but there were 2 penalties, 1 on each team, and it offset at the pick. Kirk Cousins actually threw 2 or 3 interceptions, but I think only 1 of them counted, which was the Clinton Dix one. But the others didn't count because of penalties on Green Bay. One of them coming, you know, at a very costing time. So we'll get to that in a moment. Green Bay at one point was up 17-7. They were starting to move the ball on the Vikings. Meanwhile, Minnesota just struggled to get it going. They couldn't run the ball. They were able to throw it a lot on first and second down as well, but on third down, Green Bay just kept dialing up some pretty cool blitzes from Mike Pettin, and it resulted in the punter having to come out and see a lot of action. In the fourth quarter, it was very exciting. I believed at that point Green Bay was leading. I'm not too sure. I believe they were leading like 20-14. Maybe the score was a little bit different. Maybe it was like 23 to something. I can't remember. But that fourth quarter was insane. So the play that we're talking about, of course, is the Jair Alexander interception that was called back because of roughing the passer. In my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinions, I understand where people are coming from, like, oh, Packer fans shouldn't complain about the rule because it's pretty much enforced because of the Aaron Rodgers play. I don't even think that play was pass interference. I don't think the Anthony Barr hit was pass interference. I thought it was just a good instinctive play. But I understand. But I mean, if that wasn't roughing the passer, how the hell is Clay Matthews roughing the passer? You know what I mean? Like, those are two different plays. Anthony Barr took exactly 2 steps and hit Aaron Rodgers, and he just so happened to break his collarbone. Clay Matthews, basically as soon as Kirk Cousins throws it, he already hits him. How is that roughing the passer? I keep wanting to say pass interference because there were a few calls on pass interference and holding on the defense. But how is that roughing the passer? I know Minnesota got called for one earlier in the game. I think Eric Kendricks hit Aaron Rodgers, but that wasn't roughing the passer either. He only took 1 step and then drove his shoulder. I wouldn't have counted that as roughing the passer either. But this one couldn't have happened at a worse time for the Green Bay Packers. They arguably got the game-clinching interception. Because I believe at that moment in the game it was 29-21. That interception wins the game because, yeah, Minnesota had 2 timeouts, but, you know, all you have to do is just get a first down. And I'm pretty confident Green Bay could have did that because, granted, they were held to a bunch of field goals, but the way their offense was going, they could have definitely did that. But it is what it is. You know, I'm not going to get mad. It is whatever. But Clay Matthews, this is the 2nd week in a row he's been called for roughing the passer, and it almost cost us the game. Or, not us, but it almost cost Green Bay the game. I mean, it's my favorite team, but I gotta stop saying us and we and all that, because I don't play for them. So, yeah, it almost costed Green Bay the game. Luckily, Green Bay came out with a tie and not a loss. Because Kirk Cousins, I don't know how he fit this ball into Adam Thielen. Actually, I'll tell you why. Jair Alexander had him covered, and Kentrell Bryce, trying to be a hero, tried to knock the ball away from the whole scene. Instead, he bumps Jair Alexander, and Adam Thielen comes away with a touchdown. It kind of reminded me of the Super Bowl catch by Jermaine Kearse, except it didn't hit his leg and his back and all that, and then he catches it. It was just the same concept. Like, Devin McCourty tried to knock it away, and I think it was, I forgot who was covering him. I want to say it was either Malcolm Butler or somebody. Damn, I can't remember. But Devin McCourty basically bumped the ball, or bumped the corner away from the play, and it just hits Jermaine Kearse in the back. This is kind of what it reminded me of, but the irony is that one counted as a touchdown. And then the 2-point conversion, Tramon Williams, who is a good veteran corner, very savvy, gets absolutely shook by Stephon Diggs on the fade route. He kind of fakes it going inside for like a slant, and he just goes to the corner of the end zone, and Clinton Dix just didn't have enough speed to catch up to the play. And then in overtime, Minnesota had 2 opportunities to put the game away. As a matter of fact, I believe one of the field goals was like 28 yards or 38 yards or something like that. And Green Bay calls a timeout, and that kicker misses it. And then, with 4 seconds to go in overtime, they have a prime opportunity to score. And I'm thinking, you know, that's it. You know, I know he's missed all these kicks, but this is the one where he redeems himself. He misses it. It's like a gimme field goal for a National Football League kicker, and he misses it. And meanwhile, I don't think Green Bay had the opportunity to score because they kept having to punt the ball, or they couldn't just get in good field position. So, honestly, both teams shot themselves in the foot. It ended in a 29-all tie. Next week, Minnesota plays Buffalo. I think Minnesota's going to beat the brakes off Buffalo. But if there were any time for Buffalo to actually do something good, it would be this game. For Green Bay, they do go on the road to take on the Washington Redskins. The Redskins are sneaky good. I think it's going to be a good game between 2 first-round quarterbacks from the 2005 draft. We're talking Alex Smith and Aaron Rodgers. It should be interesting. I want Green Bay to win, but we'll see. I think it's going to be a closer game than people think. I'll give Green Bay the edge by 7. I think Washington's a sneaky good team. I know they lost to the Colts They didn't play their best football against the Colts, but typically teams that play really bad, like good teams that play bad, typically bounce back the next week. So we'll see. I don't know if it'll be their rebound or not, but we'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully you guys do enjoy. We should be doing the J&A podcast probably tomorrow or the next day. We'll try to get it in before Thursday Night Football. If you want a Thursday Night Football prediction between the New York Jets and the Cleveland Browns, just let me know. I can do it. Hopefully you guys do enjoy, and hopefully your teams came away with some victories on Sunday. Mine, I can't necessarily say that Green Bay came away with a victory. They tied, but they're one of 9 undefeated teams left. There's something I can look at for a positive. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and share it with your friends. Get some more eyes on the product. Peace out.